The silence before the dawn holds a profound truth. It's in that stillness, before the world erupts into its daily symphony of demands, that we often confront the most unsettling questions. Questions about purpose, about potential, about the gnawing feeling that there's more to us than the echoes of our daily routines. Look closely at the lives that truly resonate through history, the titans who forged empires of innovation, wealth, and lasting impact. Did they chase after the glittering coins first? Did they prioritize the acquisition of material possessions above all else? Or did they understand a deeper, more fundamental law of the universe? A law whispered by the ages, yet so often drowned out by the clamor of quick fixes and instant gratification. They knew with an unwavering certainty that the external world is but a mirror reflecting the internal landscape. They understood that you don't build a fortune by simply wanting it, by merely wishing for it to appear. No, you build the man first, and then, inevitably, inexorably, the money follows. Consider the story of a young man, barely out of his teens, who arrived in New York with nothing but a tattered suit and a mind teeming with an almost insane ambition. Andrew Carnegie. He didn't have a penny to his name, yet he saw steel not just as a commodity, but as the very backbone of a new world. He didn't focus on the immediate profit. He focused on becoming the kind of man who could understand steel, master its production, and envision its pervasive impact. He built himself his knowledge, his discipline, his connections piece by painstaking piece, until he became synonymous with the very industry he revolutionized. His initial focus was never the ledger, but the man capable of shaping the ledger. This isn't a quaint historical anecdote. It's an immutable principle. It's the bedrock upon which all true and lasting success is built. And yet, in our modern world, we are constantly bombarded with narratives that invert this truth. We are told to chase the symptoms, not to cure the disease. We are encouraged to pursue the superficial trappings of wealth, believing that once we possess them, we will magically transform into the person who deserves them. This is a profound and tragic miscalculation. It's like trying to build a skyscraper, starting with the penthouse suite, hoping the foundation will miraculously appear beneath it. It won't. It never does. The journey begins not in the marketplace, but in the most fertile ground imaginable, the human mind. Your mind. Before a single dollar can be earned, before a single empire can be erected, there must be the cultivation of an unshakable mindset. This is not a passive state. It is an active, deliberate forging of your inner world. It is the conscious decision to abandon the scarcity mentality that whispers doubts and limitations. It is the ruthless excision of victimhood, of the narrative that external circumstances are the sole architects of your destiny. Think of Henry Ford. Before the assembly line revolutionized manufacturing, before millions of Model Ts crisscrossed the globe, there was a man with an idea, ridiculed by many, scoffed at by experts. His mind was a crucible where determination met ingenuity. He wasn't born with the skills. He cultivated them. He wasn't born with the vision. He painstakingly developed it. He faced relentless setbacks, financial ruin staring him in the face, yet his mindset remained fixed on a single, unwavering goal: to democratize the automobile. He built his mind, steeling it against the tide of conventional wisdom, before he built a single factory. His fortune was not an accident. It was the inevitable consequence of a mind meticulously engineered for monumental achievement. This mindset is powered by an unwavering belief, not a flimsy, wishful thinking kind of belief, but a deep, cellular conviction in your own capacity. It's the absolute certainty that you possess, or can acquire, the necessary tools to achieve your burning desire. This belief isn't granted. It's earned through self-mastery. It's forged in the crucible of small victories, in the consistent act of setting goals, and systematically crushing them. Every promise you keep to yourself, every discipline you cultivate, every challenge you overcome, chips away at the edifice of doubt and strengthens the foundation of belief. Imagine a young Walt Disney, bankrupt, ostracized, sleeping in his office, facing what seemed like insurmountable odds. Yet, within him burned an unquenchable belief in the power of animation, in the magic he could bring to life. He didn't have the money. He had the man who believed so profoundly in his vision that he could infect others with that belief, drawing resources, talent, and eventually, an audience into his orbit. His belief was the currency that bought him time, that attracted collaborators, that sustained him through countless rejections. The empire of Disney, the billions it now commands, is merely the physical manifestation of that original, audacious belief. This conviction, this belief, leads naturally to clarity. Ambition without clarity is a ship adrift, tossed by every passing current, ultimately arriving nowhere. What exactly do you seek? What specific contribution do you intend to make? What problem do you intend to solve? The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds not to vague desires but to crystal clear intentions. When you can articulate your desired outcome with precision, when you can see it, feel it, taste it, as if it already exists, you begin to align your entire being, your thoughts, your actions, your very energy with its realization. This is not a mystical concept. It's a practical application of focus. Think of a laser beam. Its power lies not in its scattered light, but in its concentrated intensity. Your purpose, your desire, must be similarly concentrated. It demands specificity. It demands definition. It demands a blueprint, not just a vague idea. When Thomas Edison set out to create a practical electric light bulb, he didn't vaguely wish for better light. He had an incredibly specific goal, and he pursued it with an obsessive clarity through thousands of failed experiments. Each failure wasn't a defeat. It was a data point, an elimination of one more path that didn't lead to his clearly defined objective. His clarity was his compass, guiding him through the wilderness of trial and error. This clarity then blossoms into a compelling vision. A vision is more than a goal. It's a living, breathing mental picture of your desired future, so vivid that it pulls you forward with an irresistible force. It's not about what you want to have. It's about who you will become in the process of achieving it. This vision must be grand, audacious, almost intimidating in its scope. It must ignite a fire within your soul, a fire so potent that it melts away procrastination, fear, and self-doubt. The power of vision is evident in every monumental achievement. Consider Abraham Lincoln, who during the darkest hours of the American Civil War, held a steadfast vision of a united nation, free from the stain of slavery. This vision, born out of profound moral clarity, sustained him through unimaginable personal loss, political machinations, and military setbacks. He didn't simply manage the crisis. He steered a nation towards a transcendent vision of its future. His leadership wasn't driven by immediate polls or popular opinion, but by an unwavering commitment to a future he could vividly see, even when others could not. This grand vision, however, is merely a beautiful mirage without an underlying purpose. Purpose is the deep, fundamental why that underpins your entire existence. It's the moral compass, the driving force that transcends personal gain. Why do you want what you want? Is it merely for comfort, for fleeting pleasure, for superficial status? Or is there a deeper yearning to contribute, to serve, to make an enduring mark on the world? When your vision is rooted in a profound purpose, it imbues your efforts with meaning, with resilience, with an almost supernatural energy. Think of the Silicon Valley pioneers, many of whom began with an almost naive idealism, driven not solely by the pursuit of wealth, but by a genuine desire to connect the world, to democratize information, to innovate for the betterment of humanity. While fortunes were undoubtedly made, the initial spark often came from a powerful sense of purpose to create something revolutionary, to solve a significant problem, to change the way we live and interact. When your purpose is clear, money ceases to be the sole objective and becomes instead a tool, an amplifier for your impact. It becomes a byproduct, a natural consequence of building something truly valuable out of a deep and authentic commitment. With purpose as your guide and vision as your destination, the path forward demands unwavering discipline. This is the non-negotiable price of admission to the arena of high achievement. Discipline is not glamorous. It's the unsexy, repetitive, often uncomfortable act of showing up, day after day, year after year, when no one is watching, when the motivation wanes, when the results are slow to appear. It's the relentless adherence to a self-imposed code of conduct, a commitment to consistent effort regardless of external circumstances. Discipline is the bedrock upon which habits are formed, And habits, in turn, are the invisible architects of destiny. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the deliberate choices to forego immediate gratification for the sake of long-term gain. It's the focus on the task at hand, even when distractions clamor for your attention. It's the consistent study, the meticulous planning, the relentless refinement in every field, from the concert pianist practicing scales for hours to the Olympic athlete enduring punishing training regimens, understands that genius is less about innate talent and more about disciplined, deliberate practice. This discipline then manifests as decisive action. Ideas, visions, purposes, they are potent, but they are inert without action. The world is littered with brilliant minds who died with their melodies unsung, their inventions unbuilt, their fortunes unrealized, simply because they lacked the courage, the conviction, or the sheer grit to translate thought into deed. Action is the bridge between the internal world of dreams and the external world of tangible results. It's the moment of execution, the leap of faith, the commitment to moving forward, even when the path is unclear or fraught with risk. Consider the early days of Microsoft. Bill Gates and Paul Allen didn't just have a vision of software for every home. They acted. They took enormous risks, dropped out of Harvard, worked tirelessly in cramped garages, and made countless cold calls. Their actions, relentless and often unconventional, transformed a nascent idea into a global phenomenon. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They took action, iterated, learned from their mistakes, and kept moving forward with an almost terrifying intensity. Action, bold and consistent, is the only true measure of commitment. As you engage in this relentless action, a profound shift occurs. You begin to experience gratitude. Not a passive, polite thankfulness, but an active, deeply felt appreciation for every step of the journey. The challenges as much as the triumphs, the lessons learned as much as the successes achieved. Gratitude is a powerful, energetic force that expands your capacity to receive. When you genuinely appreciate what you have, you signal to the universe that you are ready for more. It cultivates an abundance mindset, shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is already present and what is possible. This isn't about saccharine positivity. It's about a fundamental recognition of the interconnectedness of all things. It's about acknowledging the shoulders you stand on, the opportunities you've been given, the very breath in your lungs. When you approach your endeavors from a place of gratitude, you attract more positive experiences, more supportive relationships, and more opportunities for growth. It's a magnetic force, pulling good fortune into your orbit. However, the path to greatness is rarely a straight line. It is fraught with unexpected turns, unforeseen obstacles, and moments that demand profound adaptability. The world is in constant flux, evolving at an accelerating pace. What worked yesterday may not work today. What is true now may be obsolete tomorrow. The ability to pivot, to adjust, to embrace change not as a threat but as an opportunity, is paramount. Those who cling rigidly to outdated methods or fixed ideas will inevitably be left behind. Think of Blockbuster, once a titan of home entertainment, brought to its knees by its inability to adapt to the streaming revolution. And then think of Netflix, which began as a DVD by mail service but boldly and proactively shifted its entire business model, not once, but multiple times, to become the streaming giant it is today. Their success wasn't about being first. It was about being relentlessly adaptable, constantly reevaluating their strategies, and embracing radical change when necessary. Adaptability isn't weakness, it's strategic intelligence. It's the fluid intelligence that allows you to navigate the shifting sands of the market and emerge stronger on the other side. And in the face of inevitable setbacks, when even the most disciplined action and adaptable strategy seem to falter, you will need resilience. Resilience is not the absence of failure. It is the unwavering capacity to bounce back from it, stronger and wiser than before. It's the steeling of the spirit in the face of adversity, the refusal to be defined by your mistakes, the commitment to learn from every stumble and rise again. Every great life is a testament to resilience, a narrative punctuated by moments of profound struggle and heroic comeback. Consider the legendary trials of Thomas Edison, failing thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. Or the repeated bankruptcies and artistic rejections faced by Abraham Lincoln before he became one of America's most revered presidents. These individuals weren't immune to failure. They simply refused to be defeated by it. They understood that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a critical stepping stone on the path to it. They possessed an unyielding inner fortitude, a core of unwavering resolve that allowed them to transmute disappointment into determination and setbacks into launch pads for future triumphs. This unwavering spirit, this grit, this sheer refusal to quit, is the fuel that powers the extraordinary life. This journey of building the man is a continuous process, demanding eternal learning. The moment you believe you know everything, the moment you cease to be a student of life, is the moment your growth stagnates and your potential diminishes. The world is a vast, interconnected library, and every interaction, every challenge, every success and failure holds a lesson waiting to be absorbed. Cultivate an insatiable curiosity, a hunger for knowledge, a willingness to challenge your own assumptions and biases. Read widely, listen intently, seek out mentors, and engage in reflective self-assessment. The most successful individuals are often the most voracious learners. They understand that the landscape of opportunity is constantly shifting, and only those who are continually expanding their knowledge and refining their skills will be able to navigate it effectively. It's about cultivating intellectual humility, recognizing that there is always more to discover, more to understand, and more to master. The man who stops learning stops growing, and the moment growth ceases, decline begins. This commitment to lifelong learning is not a chore. It is an exhilarating exploration, an endless expansion of your capacity to create, to lead, and to prosper. This relentless commitment to building the man-cultivating mindset, forging belief, achieving clarity, embodying vision, living with purpose, executing with discipline, taking bold action, practicing gratitude, embracing adaptability, forging resilience, and committing to lifelong learning. This is the true alchemy. This is the inner work that precedes all outer manifestation. The money, the influence, the impact, the lasting legacy, these are not things you chase directly. They are the inevitable harvest of a life lived in accordance with these immutable principles. They are the natural consequence of becoming the person capable of attracting and sustaining such outcomes. Remember, the world does not reward wishes. It rewards work. It does not respond to fleeting desires. It responds to unwavering dedication. It does not grant fortunes to the faint of heart. It bestows them upon those who have forged themselves into instruments worthy of receiving them. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in stocks, not in real estate, not in any external asset. The greatest investment you will ever make is in yourself. So, look inward. What seeds of greatness lie dormant within you, waiting to be awakened? What false narratives have you allowed to take root in your mind, limiting your potential? The power to transform your external circumstances lies not out there, in some mythical opportunity or lucky break, but within you, in the crucible of your own becoming. The journey will be arduous. It will test your resolve. There will be moments of doubt, moments of exhaustion, moments when you question everything. But remember this: every single titan of industry, every visionary leader, every individual who has etched their name into the annals of history faced similar trials. The difference was not the absence of struggle, but the unwavering commitment to building the man within. Begin now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but in this very moment. Define your purpose with unyielding clarity. Forge your belief until it becomes an unbreakable shield. Cultivate the discipline that will serve as your daily compass. Take action, however small, however imperfect, knowing that motion creates momentum. Practice gratitude for every lesson, every challenge, every victory. Embrace adaptability as your guiding star in a rapidly changing world. Fortify your resilience against every setback. And commit, with every fiber of your being, to becoming an eternal student of life. The world awaits the manifestation of your greatness. It awaits the man or woman you are destined to become. And when that transformation is complete, when the man has truly been built, then and only then will the money, the influence, and the impact inevitably follow, not as something you chased, but as something you naturally attract, a reflection of the extraordinary being you have forged. The choice, as it always has been, is yours. Will you answer the call? Will you embark on the most profound construction project of your life, the building of you?